Welcome to this 20-minute morning yoga flow. Today we will start in a child's pose. Fingertips pointing towards the top of the mat, head grounded on the floor. Now move your arms towards your left, feeling a nice stretch on the right side of your body. And switch sides. And return back to center, taking a deep breath in and sit up. Come onto your all fours position. We are starting with a cat-cow. Breathing in, looking up to the sky, arch in the back, and breathing out, rounding through the spine, looking down. Repeat this. Return back to neutral with your spine, tuck under your toes, and lift up your hips into a downward facing dog. You can walk out this dog on the spot to loosen up the muscles in your legs. Try and point the elbows downward towards the mat. Okay, now step forward in between your hands. Come into a mountain pose, raise the arms above your head and dive them to the floor into a forward fold halfway and step back into a plank. Chaturanga on knees, chest, chin, and upward facing dog. And press into the hands into a downward facing dog. Feel that nice lengthening sensation from your spine and keep engaging your core. Okay, now step to the front of your mat with your right leg into a low lunge. Tuck under your toes and lift the back leg off the mat. Okay, step forward to the front and dive your hands to the floor. Halfway lengthen and fold. Step back into a plank position, chaturanga, and upward facing dog. And press into the hands into a downward facing dog. Now step your left leg to the front of your mat into a low lunge. Feel that nice stretch on your psoas muscle. Lift the back leg off the mat and step forward to the front. Dive your hands to the floor into a forward fold, halfway lengthen, and step or jump back into a plank position. Chaturanga, upward facing dog, and downward facing dog. Now step your right leg to the front of your mat and ground your left heel to the floor. Raise the arms above your head. Keep your hips pointing forward towards the front of your mat. Okay, now breathe out, lower the arms and open up the hips to the side. Cartwheel your arms back to the sky and turn your gaze to the front of the mat. Step to the front and dive to the floor, forward fold, halfway lengthen and fold. Feel that nice stretch. Okay, jump back into a plank, chaturanga, upward facing dog and downward facing dog. Keep pushing those shoulders away from your ears. Now step forward with your left leg, ground that right heel, and keep your gaze forward. breathe out into a warrior 2. Turn back to the front of your mat with your body and step forward into a mountain pose. Deep breath in and out. Dive your hands to the floor. Halfway lengthen and fold. Jump into a plank, chaturanga, upward facing dog, and press into the hands into a downward facing dog. See if you can go a little deeper this time, getting those heels towards the floor. Look to the front of your mat and step your right leg in between your hands. Raise your arms above your head, breathing in and out. Ground that heel and go lower into a warrior 1. Okay, lower the arms into a warrior 2. Open the hips towards the side. And come back into your warrior 1. Now ground the hands to the mat and heel toe your leg to the side of your mat. You can stay here if you want to, or you can push your knee out to the side to feel a deeper stretch. Okay, now step your other leg to the front of your mat and come into a yogic squat. Important here is to keep your back straight. You can use your elbows to push your hips open even more. Ground your hands to the floor and lift your hips to the sky into a wide-legged forward fold. Now heel toe your feet towards each other and stand up straight. Breathe in, raise the arms, and breathe out, dive to the floor. Breathe in, halfway lengthen, and out, jump into a plank, chaturanga, upward facing dog, and breathe out, downward facing dog. Look to the front of your mat and step your left leg forward in between your hands. Raise the arms and ground that back heel to the floor into a warrior 1. Breathe out and lower the arms. Open up your hips to the side into a warrior 2. Return your gaze back forward and place your hands on the mat. Heel toe that leg out to the side and open up that knee. Now step that back leg to the front of your mat and lower down into a yogic squat. See if you can go a little deeper this time. Bring the hands to the floor and lift up your hips. Heel toe your feet together and stand up straight. Breathe in, raise the arms above your head, and out, dive to the floor. Halfway lengthen and fold. Folding from your hip crease here. See if you can grab onto those big toes. Halfway lengthen and jump back into plank, chaturanga, upward facing dog, and downward facing dog. Raise your right leg to the sky And bring your right knee to your right thumb into a pigeon pose. Your shin does not have to be parallel to the front of your mat. You can bend your knee if this feels more comfortable. Don't injure yourself. If you want to go a little deeper, you can come down on your elbows. Come back onto your hands, tuck under your toes, and lift that front leg back into a three-legged dog. Now step that leg in between your hands into a high lunge. Ground the heel and straighten out your front leg. Lower the arms and reach to the side, bringing the hand to the floor. You can use a block here if that feels easier for you. Feel a nice stretch on your inner thighs and the side of your body. Keep the shoulders above each other. Return back to standing and come into a high lunge. Now bring your hands towards the mat and step back into your downward facing dog. Now let's repeat that on the other side. Raise your left leg to the sky and connect your left thumb with your left knee into that pigeon pose. You can come down on your elbows if you want to, or you can stay where you are. Feel that stretch in your glute muscle. Come back onto your hands, tuck under your toes and swing back into that three-legged dog. Bring that leg to the front of your mat in between your hands, high lunge. And ground that heel, straighten out the front leg. Let's come back into a triangle pose. Return back to standing and come back into that high lunge. Bring the hands towards the floor and back into a downward facing dog. Roll forward into a plank, chaturanga, upward facing dog, and downward facing dog. Now step your right leg to the side of your mat, back into that lizard pose. See if you can go a little deeper this time and come down on your elbows. Or just stay where you are right now. Come back onto your hands and step that other leg to the front of your mat into your yogic squat. Ground the hands, lift the hips and heel toe your feet together. Halfway lengthen, forward fold. Feel that nice stretch on the back of your legs. And jump back into a plank position, chaturanga, upward facing dog, and downward facing dog. How does this downward facing dog feel on your body? Do you feel looser than the beginning of the class? Look to the front of your mat and step your left leg to the outside of your mat into that lizard pose. Again, you can come down on your elbows if you want to feel a deeper stretch, or just stay where you are. Come back onto your hands and step forward into a yogic squat. Bring the hands to the floor and lift the hips to the sky. Heel to your feet together and come up to standing. Raise the arms above your head and dive them to the floor. Halfway lengthen and now sit down on the mat. Straighten out one leg in front of you and put the other foot in your inner thigh. And now bend forward into your one-legged seated forward fold. Feel that nice stretch on the back of your leg and that hip opening sensation on the other side. With every breath, go a little deeper. Let's come out, sit up straight, take that bent knee and place your foot next to the other leg and twist to the side, twisting from your belly button here, keeping your spine straight. Okay, return back to center. And let's switch to the other side, placing the other foot in the inner thigh and bending forward, bending from your hip crease. With every breath, go a little deeper. It's time to come out. Grab that other foot and place it on the outside of the leg. And twist. keeping the spine straight. Return back to center and lay down on your back, placing the soles of your foot on each other, opening up your knees to the sides. Feel that nice sensation in your hips. Place one hand on your heart and one on your tummy. We are going to do a little breathing exercise here. Breathe into your stomach, your ribcage, and your heart. And breathe out from your heart, your ribcage, and your stomach. Breathe into your stomach, your ribcage, and your heart. And breathe out from your heart, your ribcage, and your stomach. You can repeat this at your own pace if you want to, or return back to your normal breathing. Let's release the arms and the legs and come into our full Savasana. Be present in this moment. Relax every muscle in your body and thank yourself for being here today and spending this time on your health. You can stay here for as long as you wish to. I am going to come out now and the video will end in a couple of seconds. Roll to the side into a fetal position and then sit up. Thank you so much for being here with me today. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. Namaste.